Hi guys, good day, it's Minuel from Drift Oragon. Welcome back to my channel for another RC Drift video. And for today, after a week of running the Sakura D5, we are going to update the settings. So I have changed the rear as well as in the front. And as I have mentioned, we are going to replace the steering link with the Yokomo Curve connector. So let's see how it does. And then later on in the video, I will show you the sample run of the kit and how it actually performs. So let's start. Now, currently on the steering link changes, a bit messy on the table right now. We have here the YD2, some extra parts and tools, and here is our kit, the Sakura D5. I already managed to remove the ball stud, and later on we'll decide where to put it, either the inner or the outer hole, as well as for the steering bridge. But yeah, let's decide it later. And down here below is the actual steering link that we are going to assemble. First, here is the default from Sakura D5, and this one is the ideal replacement from Yokomo. This is Yokomo, and this one is Tamiya. This is from TRF damper, and this one is TRF damper as well, the short link. And this one is MST. Yeah, so it's just so happened that I encountered a bit of problem because the Yokomo ones has a bit smaller size. So the ball stud for Sakura D5 is 4.8, if we could see that a bit clearer, 4.8, and then the ones for Yokomo is 4.5. So I managed to order some extra parts. So this one is from ReveD. Yeah, I would like to thank Kotatsu Hobbies for having the order. Yeah, so happened that this one is the only stock they have currently right now. So too bad for me that I would be able to only use the, what you call this, the angle one. Yeah, I was planning to replace both sides, but still I have some extra parts here that I could use. This one is 4.8, but later on we'll see, because my ideal part would probably this one, the shorter one. And maybe this one I still have the 5.8 from Sakura D4, but later on I'll see if that's necessary. But yeah, moving on to the link, if I were to move it side by side like this, so we could see some noticeable differences. First, the size of the hole, then the length, a bit shorter on the Yokomo, and then the angle is lesser. So as I have mentioned in the previous video, I would like to use the Yokomo Curve connector because it has a lesser angle. My idea for this one is if I were to use the Yokomo Curve connector, I would gain a little bit more clearance between the steering link and then the rims. Yeah, so let's see if we're able to gain something on this one. So yeah, let's continue. Okay, so there you go guys, we've seen the Sakura D5 runs, and now let's take a look at what are those changes on the settings. So for the damper position, in here, as you can see, I move it in the innermost hole. For the upper part, stays the same, it's on the outermost hole. And then for the preload, this one is 1mm. I stick a 1mm spacer there to measure. And then the spring, this one is from my old Sakura D4. So this is a 3Racing, but I don't know the size. But I'm sure this one is somewhere in medium hard. The color is not the actual color for stiffness. This one is a custom marker. So I made it out of shrink tube. I cut a small piece of shrink tube, then put it inside, then hit it. So I have a custom marker here. For the upright, if you could notice here, this one, I added a small spacer there. That one is a 2mm spacer. Maybe we could make it a bit more focus. Yeah, right there. So that is 2mm spacer. And for the front, so here is the Yokomo Curve connector. And for the turnbuckle, this one is from my old Sakura D4. This is 3Racing 16mm turnbuckle. And for the knuckle arms, so I connected in the outermost hole, and then I added a spacer. What it does is to remove the extra bump steer, because if we don't have the spacer here, what you can notice is the connection from the steering bridge to the knuckle arm is a bit slanted, and when we lift the kit, it's kinda create a extra steer. So for the connection on the steering bridge, it's in the outermost hole. The camber is 6 degrees. For the caster, I haven't actually have a precise measurement, but when I do the measurement in here, I would like to guess somewhere 5 to 10 degrees for the caster. And then the ride height, I did some changes on the ride height. It would be your preference. For the spring, I changed the spring to Yokomo. Previously, we are using the 32mm MST spring, the orange pink. Yeah, that was an orange pink, super soft. And then this one is Yokomo. This one is not the Yokomo green. Yeah, again, same with the rear. This is a custom marker. I have two of these. So this one is the yellow. I put this in the rear. But this particular spring here is the Yokomo 177FA. I forgot the name. Yeah, but yeah, that's it. So again, that was a string tube. This one is a bit softer. Yeah, so I guess that's all. So let me attach the wheel and then the battery and fire up the kit. I will show you the steering angle and then the Ackerman, and we'll explain more about the changes and this one. Okay, let's go. Now for the steering angle and then the Ackerman. First, let me steer to the left slowly. So that's about the steering angle. That's the full lock. Let's go to the other side. Turn it slowly to the right. And that's the full lock. So I added the spacer on both knuckle arms, 2mm. It kinda eliminate the bump steer. When we lift the kit, you could see there's a bump steer there, but not that much. And if we press it all the way down, and then what it does is it's kinda lessen the toe out. So if we remove the spacer, it will have a bit more toe out. And when we do the steering to this one for the full lock, if we don't have the spacer, the steering angle for the trailing tire, this one, will be a bit less. So it probably somewhere here. like that. But with the spacer, it's kinda go all the way there. Okay, so I will do another change. Let's try to add a spacer in this one, and then I will replace the damper spring. I will use the MST, and then I will use a harder spring on the rear. So let's go and see what it actually do. And there you go, that was the run from Sakura D5 with the updated settings. Now let's take a look at what are the changes. First, on the rear, I just replaced the spring with a much harder one. This is probably about medium hard something. The color is, like I said, a custom marker. This is just a shrink tube. And then the ride height is adjusted. This is 3.3 millimeter because the spring is a bit shorter compared to the previous one. Pretty much the same setup. And for the front, first the spring, I replaced the spring, so I went back to MST. This one again is 32 millimeter MST super soft spring. This is orange pink. And for the setup on the wheels, this is same camber, same caster, same ride height, did not change anything there. For the knuckles, I added a 1 millimeter spacer. So maybe we could focus that one. So there you go. There is a 1 millimeter spacer there. Same connection for the knuckle arm and then the steering bridge. But the steering link is adjusted because when I added the spacer, it changes the steering angle as well as the Ackerman. So you might want to adjust that one. Yeah, so I think that's just the changes, and compared to the previous one that we seen, I kinda like this one much better. It feels like a bit more easier to go into the corner and switch position. So let's take a look at the steering. I will turn the kit on. Okay, so for the steering changes, let me steer all the way to left. Okay, so that's the full lock, and to right, and that's the full lock. So again, I adjusted the steering link because there's a small changes when I added the spacer in here, both sides. So in the next video, I will show you a little bit of a trick. So using this current setup, I did try to do another throttle steering. So let's see. And there you go, guys. That's pretty much it for today. Let's wrap it up. So if you like this content, you find it informative and entertaining, please consider giving it a like. If you have some question, comment, suggestion, write it down below in the comment section. If you are new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe, and don't forget to turn the notification bell on so you'll get updated when I upload new content. Yeah, again, this is Noel from Drift Oragon. Thank you for watching and see you on the next video.